Today we're gonna go over some questions that I'm asked quite often, being in real estate, being a salesperson, and having some real estate dealings, investments, and so forth. And so uh, this is it.
How did you get into real estate?
While in high school, I was about 16 and a half or so. I think that's a legal age to get a job. I started working for a mortgage broker, assisting him in doing some openings and doing some administrative work. And quite frankly, at the time, the guy was extremely young and focusing on doing real estate loans at a very, very high level. And when I saw that, and I saw that it was something that I really enjoyed doing, I shifted my gear from the goal and actually the direction where I was going, which was college, to real estate sales and get my license. And 12 years later, the rest is history.
When did you purchase your first property?
I purchased my first home when I was 19 years old. And so uh, let me say something very, very clearly. When I was 19 years old, I put together the down payment money. I put together the money to fix the home that I purchased because it was distressed. But I purchased the first property with relatives' credit, if you will. They actually qualified for the home for me. Because at the time, with my credit, which was minimal, and my income, which was reported, it was not enough for me to qualify for a home mortgage.
How important is credit?
It's extremely, I can't stress enough how important it is to have credit. Good credit, by the way, because that's the number one way that you will really start making some power moves and power plays in real estate, with credit. It's everything. So if you don't have credit, go out there and get a credit card, go to your bank. If no one wants to give you a credit card, go to your bank, get a secured card, give them $500, $1,000, and let them charge you interest on your money so that they could start giving you trade lines on all three of the bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. It's the number one thing. If nothing else that you guys would take today, credit is everything. That's how folks own most of the wealth in America.
What are some perks of buying a home?
You are able to bring down your fixed cost overhead-wise in regards to mortgage, regards to insurance, and taxes. If you don't buy a house now, let's just say you sit back and watch the market for a year, 2 years, whatever that may be, it's very uncertain what's going to happen then when it comes to rates, inflation, your overall income and situation.
What are your current real estate investments?
Currently, I compartmentalize it in three different forms. So number one, an entity and a corporation for buying, fixing, and selling property, or even developing. We call that speculating. Number two would be buying and holding property and managing it while the other people are renting out the properties, apartments, single family residences, and paying down the mortgage, because that becomes a task in itself and it becomes something that you have to allocate time in. And number three would be real estate sales business. So whatever that looks like, be it small, be it big, however one chooses to, what I like to call it, pick your profit. You get to choose how you pick your profit, whether it be real estate sales, real estate holdings, or real estate speculation. So
What motivates you?
being in sales, it's strictly a mental fitness game. It's not really anything but that. And so every day waking up and being passionate and excited about the same grind is not an easy task. I think that there's a ton of people that I could see that say that I'm inspired by, and not necessarily in real estate, quite frankly. I think that it goes to people that are just thriving in their trade. Basketball, there's obviously Lakers fan and been for quite some time. You call it the LeBron Jameses. You talk about just people that have done things that will forever be remembered. That kind of thing truly moves me, and it propels me to every day, even when things are tough, even when the last night was crummy, or it was not the best way to end a day, or I'm going through a situation, be it personal, be it business. What allows me to wake up the next day is knowing that there's been other people that have gone through the same and have thrived.
What are some do's and don'ts of real estate?
Dues. Buy a home as soon as you can. Don't try to chase the market or follow it or try to get the best deal, especially if it's for your primary residence. Don't hire just anyone because they're referred to you by a friend, family, or relative. A lot of times the verification and validation or vetting process of that individual is oftentimes overlooked. By the way, the one thing you don't want to do is ever make a late payment on mortgage. That's the one thing that really hinders you financing any other future property for at the very least 12 months.
Looking back, what would you change?
During my 5 to 7 years, call it, of being in the industry, I would have been a lot more aggressive and focused on making sure that the people that I serve or my friends and family stay in touch with me. I would have at least made a more conscious effort to continue to educate them in the industry so that when they do have a need to buy or sell, that I would be the obvious choice.
Where do you think the market is going?
I think the market where we currently are now, we're going to be experiencing a very low variable of, just maybe a little bit of a decrease in the market for the next year to 2 years. I truly believe, call it 2020 or so. I mean, once we have election time, things are going to start to shift, and the energy and the consumer confidence is going to start to tilt the opposite way, and we're going to go through a market correction for the following several years until the market gets to where it needs to bottom out, and then we're going to be enjoying appreciation once again. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, or if you would just like to pick my brain, this is the platform to do so. Please comment below. Let me know if there's anything that I can clear up for you. Ask Eric D on YouTube. Thank you.